Pleased to welcome to the show Lalo Alcaraz. Now, he's a political cartoonist, satirist, and television writer. He's the award-winning creator of the first nationally syndicated, politically themed Latino daily comic strip, La Cucaracha, which is read in American newspapers nationwide. What are you eating there? That looks really good.
And Mexican stuff.
Don't make me hungry before I get through the intro, man. His comics are syndicated by Universal Euclid, home of my hero Doonesbury, and as you will see, Lalo, I have the latest Doonesbury, which is huge, the 30-year anthology of Donald Trump, which we'll be talking about. Doonesbury and Boondocks are both covered by Euclid, and he produces editorial cartoons, or has in the past, for LA Weekly from 1992 to 2010. I would have been there for the first few weeks of your, as I was there in 1995 to 98. And he now creates editorial cartoons in English and Spanish for the LA Times. His strip La Cucaracha was also in a collection by Andrews and McNeil. I can't even say that fast.
Andrews McNeil.
Andrews McNeil, and he's a writer-producer of Bordertown on Fox, which lasted for a glorious one season of 13 episodes, and he consulted on the 2017 Pixar film Coco. And he's written segments for Al Madrigal from The Daily Show, and will be featured on the upcoming HBO Latino program Habla y Vota, special, where he'll be with George Lopez and Jorge Ramos. So, you're a classic wit, sir. You do quite a lot for the Latino and immigrant community. The list of awards was as long as my arm. But on KPFK, every afternoon, Friday afternoon, you do a satirical radio show called the Pocho Hour, and you have a humor zine called Pocho Magazine, and finally, you are jefe-in-chief of the satire website pocho.com.
I got the Pocho Market.
You got the Pocho Market. Welcome, man. Welcome to the Three Muckrakers.
Hey, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it, and cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate, indeed. You know, this all started with Judge Curiel. And I noticed that you call yourself on Twitter, aside from @Lalo, Lalo Alcaraz, Alcaraz, you call yourself Mexican Judge, and the whole Trump University thing. Let's start there, because that seems to be where a lot of this started, is that the fact that he really objected to having a federal judge in Mexico, of Mexican heritage, in the United States, handling the Trump University case, and did everything in his power to get rid of him.
Yeah, Trump pretty much encapsulated what's wrong with this election and with him and with xenophobia, and it gave me flashbacks when he was on TV, saying this Mexican judge, he just kept saying over and over, he's a Mexican, I'm gonna build a wall, and it was like. I got flashbacks. I got chills and that horrible feeling of when I was a kid, when growing up on the border, when even though, I was born in the U.S., I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm 52 now. I'm still having to argue that, I'm an American citizen and I have all the rights of an American citizen. And here is Donald Trump insisting that just, because he's a racist, a clear, his own Republican Party said that's a textbook definition of racism, saying that someone can't do their job because of their ethnic background, insisting that this guy was from Mexico when in fact he was born in Indiana, same place that Michael Jackson was born. It was just a bad feeling. So I changed my Twitter handle to Mexican Judge because I was so incensed, and I vowed to keep it through the election till we vote him down in flames.
Well, it clearly looks as though he's headed that way. And, to be deadly serious for a moment, I mean, his speech, of which all I need to do is play this 8 seconds of.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
I mean, when somebody says that about people from your heritage, what does it do?
Yeah, that was the amazing kickoff. I guess it hadn't really sunk in. I mean, he comes out swinging with that, and I think I was just more in shock, thinking this has to be a performance art thing. Nobody really talks like that anymore. But yet, he hasn't really. I mean, I've gotten into it on Twitter with people that insist that he left out he had a qualifier in there. He didn't mean all Mexicans. He just meant most of them.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but that has to fall into the same category as I went to college with a black guy, and some of my best friends are black.
Yeah, no, exactly, and I think a lot of us that are first generation, here in the U.S. and are, first thing I thought of, and I think many people did, was our parents. I mean, my parents never got arrested. My parents never did anything. They came from Mexico to make a better life and to work hard. And like my mom cleaned houses for middle class white people in Southern California in the 70s. And I mean that added quality of life to a lot of people's lives because even middle class people could afford a servant, domestic help. And, all my mom did was work her ass off. All my dad did was work his ass off. And there's still people like Donald Trump that say these psychotic things and paint whole group